Look, who knows? I think that's an example of a broader question for Twitter, which is, if you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party, or are you going to decide to stay home? And that's a question for Twitter users. Some Twitter users might love the idea. There's going to be absolutely no moderation and no rules at all. Others might not want to be anywhere near that. Am I crazy enough?
No, you're right. And what happens to the advertising?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and an absolute hilarious reaction to Elon Musk purchasing it. He just kind of struck back with a new comment or a new statement about the future of Twitter and how he views free speech, and it's absolutely amazing. Hey, I'm not going to put any ads in this video. I know, some people hate that, but what I will do is, if you're on Twitter, please consider following me. And if you haven't yet, I'm working on building my mailing list over at thequartering.com. I use this mailing list to just tell you about new features or new products I'm offering. We're working on a huge list of woke or not woke companies. We're going to have a full list of our sponsors here. I'm taking like your direct feedback on stuff you want to see. People told me they wanted to hear the show put on Spotify every day. Not only did I do that, but I hired somebody to chop it all down and make it flow like it's one show. That gets uploaded every single day. So please go to thequartering.com right on top here. Sign up for the newsletter. Then you're going to get an email that says, hey, do you want to be on this list? Click yes. And then you're done. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'm going to do some great things, but I need to be able to actually talk to people. Now, the media has been absolutely melting down over Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. Some of them with hilarious takes like, oh, this is going to be the worst thing ever. You can see why Elon Musk's plan to, quote, fix Twitter will be harder to implement than he thinks. Here's an article from The Atlantic. The worst case scenario for Elon Musk's Twitter, plus the more likely one. You can see this article at BBC News. Elon Musk warned he must protect Twitter users. All of this is hilarious because when you look at essentially the left-wing establishment media, yes, there's Fox News, but CNN, MSNBC, NBC, BBC, every major media outlet, every major website, Forbes, Washington Post, owned by Bezos, all these people have been totally fine when Twitter was owned by one man before, Jack Dorsey. They've all been totally fine with Facebook being owned by one man in Mark Zuckerberg. Why do you think that is? Well, could it be the hundreds of millions of dollars that Mark Zuckerberg put into helping Democrats in the 2016 and 2020 elections? I don't know. Could it be Jack Dorsey's obvious leftward leanings, at least during the beginning? Could it be that Twitter seemingly had the algorithm working against non-mainstream voices? Look, today I gained like 2,000 followers on Twitter. I've never had a day like that before. I had, when Libs of TikTok got doxxed, I had like a big day, an influx of followers, but like the number of people going to twitter.com and going to /thequartering following now is amazing. And it's because people are coming back. People are dormant. People are interested in what's going on. Maybe people are seeing my Elon Musk coverage here on YouTube and they're subscribing. I'm actually getting new subscribers, which is nice. But like all of the negative stuff here, Bloomberg, Elon Musk and Twitter are not a match made in heaven. Nothing in the Tesla CEO's track record suggests he will be careful steward of an important media property. Yes, Mark Gongoloff, I'm sure you are by far the more intelligent person. In fact, there was also an article by Gizmodo, okay, that basically said, like, Elon's not very smart. Elon Musk proves yet again he's not very bright. Yeah, sure. Tesla has a $1 trillion valuation. Boeing has like Boring has $5 billion. Neuralink's in the billions. He was only one of the original founders of PayPal. But yeah, Elon Musk just couldn't possibly be as smart as Squint's eyes. Matt Novak, weekend writer at Gizmodo, a dying website, a website that's been replaced by overweight bearded guys in their basements reading the articles. I mean, like, yes, when you are, proposing things, not everything's going to be a hit. It's like, oh my God, the Hyperloop. Oh my God, solar powered roads failed. So everything else associated with it is going to be, it's so dumb to deny the power of Tesla. Like, they single-handedly, I don't care if you don't like Elon. I don't care if you don't like Teslas. That's fine. I'm not here to sell you one. But what I am saying is Tesla forced every major domestic car maker to get on board with making EVs, which are a good option for some people. You want to roll coal like I do still? That's fine. My wife drives a Tesla and loves it for never having to stop at the gas station, in particular for safety reasons. Late at night, you don't have to stop and pick up, get gas or whatever the case may be. Whatever. I don't care if you don't like them, they're fit and finish or whatever, or you don't like that he got government handouts, even though every other major company ever has gotten them. What I'm saying is, just because Elon has had a few missteps in the past doesn't automatically discredit him being able to succeed at running Twitter. And then perhaps the best meltdown thus far has been Brian Stelter complaining that Twitter will be a party with no rules, even though Elon has refuted that. And this via excellent investigative writer Nick Monroe, also a good follow. CNN personality Brian Stelter's reaction Monday to Elon Musk taking over Twitter and reverting it back to a private company is that the platform will become a, quote, free-for-all. He described it on CNN Newsroom as a party with no rules. Yeah, who wouldn't want to go to that? Stelter led off by presuming that Musk will manage Twitter like he does SpaceX and Tesla. His primary complaint about his leadership style is what it'll mean for the threat of misinformation. You mean half of what CNN puts out on purpose? And the rest of Twitter's rulebook. That's what led to CNN anchor to say, look, who knows? I think that's an example of a broader question for Twitter, which is if you get invited to something where there are no rules, this is Brian Stelter, who is younger than me, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party? Yeah, literally everyone would. And that's a question for some Twitter users. Some Twitter users might love the idea that there's going to be absolutely no moderation and no rules at all. Although, and again, Elon Musk has not said this, and I will get to his statement in a second. Others might not want to. Essentially what he's saying is like, oh, people need to leave Twitter. The consumer is going to leave Twitter. When, in fact, they are not. They are not. I mean, they're not. The amount of people, so Mastodon said, Mastodon's the far left alternative to Twitter. I also have an account there. You'll find me. I tweeted it out. That was too left for Will Wheaton. They tweeted out a whopping 40,000 users. If you look at guys like Jack Posobiec, he gained 10,000 followers today alone. The number of people who are watching this video and who will follow me on Twitter might be another 1,000 or 2. The amount of people leaving Twitter seem to be greatly outnumbered. I've got a video about that later. Seem to be greatly outnumbered by the number of people either returning to active duty here on Twitter or signing up for the very first time. I've seen a lot of comments in my comment section and on Twitter saying, hey, I decided to come back to Twitter because, now it might actually be fun. I see a lot of my peers testing various bannable offenses, which I don't recommend doing yet. Not at least until, we have a clear idea of what Elon's going to do. And I do think that it's not like Elon Musk is going to come in and say, he literally can't. He can't come in and say well, all hate speech rules are no longer valid. He can't do that because, he could if he wants Twitter to not be on the App Store or the Google Android store anymore. He could do that if he doesn't want to have any kind of payment processing on Twitter. He could do it. Twitter is big enough and there's enough people who have it installed already on their phones that could probably handle installing an APK and going around it. But overall, that's not going to be how it goes. So then Elon tweeted out just a few minutes ago, actually, just a few moments ago, The extreme reaction from those who fear free speech says it all. By free speech, and that has 500,000 likes, right? Then he follows it up by, quote, free speech, I simply mean that which speech matches the law. I am against censorship that goes far beyond the law. If people want less free speech, they will ask the government to pass laws to that effect. Therefore, going beyond the law is contrary to the will of the people. That's exactly, Elon Musk just told you what the new Twitter's terms of service will be. Elon Musk just said the new Twitter terms of service is going to be, my opinion of bannable offenses will be things that are illegal. Now, he's still going to have to navigate hate speech rules with the app stores, or Elon is just the type of guy with just the type of money to, if they decide to kick him off the app store, he could perhaps provide a solution to the monopoly that exists there. Make it very easy for people to download Twitter from their phones without the Google App Store, and prove that you don't need it anymore. Gab does that. Gab's not on the App Store, and there are thousands of happy users there. So this is very, very interesting to see. It's been absolutely amazing to cover. I hope everyone's having as much fun as I am. And before the end of the day, please open a new tab. Head on over to thequartering.com. On the upper right, put your email in and make sure you get on my email list. I want to be able to get a hold of everyone if I ever get banned, or if I ever have something important that I can't trust like people on Twitter to see, or because, you know, the shadow banning and this and that. And by the way, also you have links to the podcast version of my show. You also have all of my latest videos get posted here within maybe an hour of them going live on YouTube. So it's a good place just to check if you don't want to go on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.